part of the restoration of all things was the restoration of the 30-day month. Some have scoffed at this because the rotations of the luminaries were not set back to a 30-day cycle on July 19th. The testimony that I have been sent to bear witness to is about our Creator's word being true and not about physical signs. His word testifies that he has sent me, and his word says that I would restore all things. Not only that, the sign of Jonah testifies both to his word and to the restored 30-day month. In lieu of all of the evidence that he has given to us in his word, there can be only one answer as to why the rotations do not reflect the 30-day rotation yet. The only possibility is that he has set it up this way as part of his testing and proving process. His son said that the only sign that would be given is the sign of Jonah. The question is, do you believe the sign of Jonah? If you do, then you will put your faith and your trust in the restoration of the 30-day month. We must believe his word in order to be found in his favor, and his word testifies to the sign of Jonah. The Sabbath is a very important subject to have correct, since it is YEHWEH Elohiym's sign as to who his children are. If he has restored the 30-day month, you indeed had better be on board with this restoration. After all, he said in Isaiah 58, verses 12 through 14, "And from you," referring to the small remnant that will return to him, "I will build the vanished places that were made desolate," and they were made desolate by the false shepherds like Saul of Tarsus and his followers. "And I will raise up the foundation of many generations, and you will be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in." He says, "If you will turn your feet to the Sabbath, and do my desire on my set-apart day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the sanctified of YEHWEH, and glorify it, and glorify my path," which is his Torah, "and attain my desire by speaking my words, then you will delight upon YEHWEH, and you will ride upon the high places of the earth, and I will feed you with the heritage of Jacob your father, because the mouth of YEHWEH has spoken it." So obviously this is an important subject to have correct. A lot of this final showdown is about when his Sabbaths are. You can choose to set your eternal fate in the bed of the Sunday Sabbath camp that is primarily made up of Saul's followers. You can choose the Saturday Sabbath bed that came from the false traditions of Judaism. Within the Saturday Sabbath followers, there are a whole host of other choices that divide this group. There are different sects of Judaism that you can choose and embrace. There are different groups that still hold fast to the abomination of desolation, Saul of Tarsus' doctrines. There are even groups that observe the Saturday Sabbath that realize that Saul is false, who keep variations of the traditions of Judaism. There are groups that understand that YEHWEH's Sabbaths are determined by his luminaries, some of which hold to the different traditions of Judaism, and some that even understand that Saul is false that you can choose from. Some of these use a Jerusalem crescent moon sighting. Some use a conjunction phase, and some even use the first visible crescent in their areas. And now you have a man who claims that he has been sent from above to restore all things, who claims that the 30-day month has been restored to choose from. This man comes yielding a resume that is YEHWEH Elohiym's word. You certainly have choices to make on who you will side with, because it is a most important subject to have correct. I suggest you side with his word. You should go and purchase the eye salve and anoint your eyes with it, because there is no room to be wrong on your choice. The sign of Jonah that he has sent to us proves that it has been restored within a restored 30-day month. So I suggest that you examine all of the evidence of this sign with fear and trembling. In this restored month, the 5th month that we are in began on Sunday, July 22nd on Satan's calendar. This made the following 4 Sundays the Sabbath, the way man reckons days. After this coming Sunday, August 19th, there will be a 2-day new moon celebration on the 20th and the 21st, and the following 4 Tuesdays, beginning with August 28th, will be the Sabbaths. The new moon day celebrations are no work days and no buying and selling days, but they are not Sabbaths either. I've spoken about in more detail in other videos. I have addressed this subject with great fear of being wrong before posting this, since the rotations of the luminaries have not yet, at least not yet to my knowledge, been returned to their original cycle. This is certainly a serious matter, because we have to be correct on the timing of his Sabbaths and the rest of his appointed times as well. The reality is, this test that we call life always circles back to believing our Elohim's word that he has given to us through his servants the prophets, and then acting on this belief by hearkening to it. It is his word that testifies to the sign of Jonah, and it is the sign of Jonah that testifies to the restored 30-day month. If he holds back, if he wants to hold back returning the cycle to test and refine those who will return to his word and believe his word, this is certainly his choice to do so. And actually, in doing so, it's even magnificent in design. This whole life here in the flesh is designed by him to try us and to test us and to refine us and to purify us. He did things like he made the children of Israel eat manna to test them and to try them. His word says so. He held back the water with them back then to test them and to try them, and other events like this. So he certainly puts forth tests in front of us. To deny the sign of Jonah that he has given to us would be to deny his word. And like I said, to deny that he has sent me to restore all things would be to deny his word as well. There is no way that the 3 months and the 3 months could have fit together like they did, with the scattering of the hair and with the feast and with the other things that all came together to prove this sign. The intricate detail and the precision in it all was orchestrated by an amazing, all-powerful creator to testify to his word and to testify to his plan for putting us here. If you choose to not believe the sign of Jonah that he has given to us, this is certainly your choice. As for me and my family, we will observe his Sabbaths according to his restored month, because the evidence that our Creator gave to us to prove the sign of Jonah is impossible to refute, and his Son said that it would be the only sign given.